Come da poca picchita va bene, se tu la parla miezza americano, quando si fa l'amore sotto la luna, come da viene in capo di I love you. Papà l'americano. Papà l'americano. L'americano. Come da poca picchita va bene, se tu la parla miezza americano, quando si fa l'amore sotto la luna, come da viene in capo di I love you. Papà l'americano. Papà l'americano.
Ethnography is defined as the scientific description of peoples and cultures with their customs, habits, and mutual differences. Using ethnographic research can be an advantage as it involves first-hand observation. For the first week, we had to conduct an ethnographic investigation into the use of technology in the Ellen Terry building. Our research was conducted over a full day in the middle of the week. This allowed us to observe the use of modern technology during the course of the day. We decided to use visual ethnography to demonstrate how developed the technology is and also to see how the students and teachers use the technology. This style has allowed us to produce visual representations which helps us study the society.
someone who's loyal and always there.
Everyone always says it, isn't it? Like, friends are like the family you choose, sort of thing.
Someone that knows you more than anyone else. You can always depend on them.
Someone who's there for you most of the time, someone you can go to, someone who can offer advice.
Although you've got Skype, so like you don't miss them as much.
If it wasn't for Skype and FaceTime and stuff like that, you'd miss your friends a lot more than you do right now.
Definitely.
I Skype my friends every day, so I don't.
Sus.
Yeah, like when you say about social media and stuff, like obviously because we're like in the same country but we're in different regions. So the only reason like they can sort of exist is because like they prolonged because we can like FaceTime them and stuff and like Facebook and text and Twitter and things like that.
No, that's catfish to be honest.
Like you were in school or something and somebody set you up with a pen pal and you were like writing to them or something, you wouldn't be able to cross that person as your friend. Yeah.
Potentially.
But,
yeah. But as a friend, don't you need that face-to-face silent treatment to feel like friendship? Because it is someone from another country. It's not there completely the whole friendship package.
But then
that's definitely we got to know each other through texting, but I've never met them. Like till this day, I've never met.
Could be a catfish.
Yeah, we could talk for a really long time for like a year. Well,
You never met him?
and you never met them.
like pictures and stuff. That was just it. Cut that catfish bit out.
No, keep that in. That's gossip.
I used to think it was cool to have a lot of friends. Like on Facebook, like we'd aim for like 500 friends.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, that was it. That was it.
Or like back when BBM was a thing, like you had all them contacts, you just think, you know.
MSN days. Oh my god, I don't remember.
You had all your friends and you tagged them and you had people.
Yeah.
And Bevo was one of the best friends section.
Oh yeah.
Can any of you say that all of your friends on Facebook are actually your friends?
No.
Some of them I've never
Seen them.
Like the other day I found out I have like one Indian guy on my Facebook.
What? How you find out?
I always think that, you know, the people that like your photos, they're kind of who are actually
Your friends.
Yeah.
They know the thing.
After conducting our focus group and re-watching the footage, we realised that we didn't have enough information from participants to really understand the meaning of friendship. This meant that we were going to conduct a series of interviews as well, so we therefore prepared a set of questions.
How would you define a friend?
I would define a friend as someone I talk to, have similar interests with, but someone I can rely on. So someone who takes an interest in me as well as I take an interest in them.
Okay. How would you say that social media has affected your friendships?
It's let me keep my friendships. As I've come to uni, it'd be a lot harder to do without, because I think I'd run out of texts and stuff. But yeah, Facebook and Twitter and stuff have helped me keep in contact with my friends.
Okay, so would you then say that all the people you do have on Facebook are really your friends?
No.
Why not?
There's a lot of people that you just know, that you just feel like you have to have on there, like that you accept or that you've accepted ages ago and you can't be bothered to delete them.
So what sort of people would that be?
People from like old schools and
People you
people that you don't really talk to.
keep up with.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that is the case and you do have people on Facebook that aren't really your friends, would you say the use of Facebook has devalued the meaning of the word friend?
Well, in a way it has, because friending someone when you're not really their friend. I mean, you don't want to like not accept people on Facebook because you're not their friend. It's not really classing them as a friend by having them on Facebook, but you kind of have loads of people that you don't really not that interested in.
So a Facebook friend is more just somebody that you know?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. So do you think it's possible to have a friend that you only know through a social media platform?
I don't think they're as much of a friend. They are practically an acquaintance.
Yeah.
You can't I mean, you could know someone through a screen as much as you want. You can Skype and things like that, but I think you have to actually have like an interaction, a face-to-face interaction, in order to find out what they're actually like. And
if you can be friends.
Yeah, and because some people have a lot of traits that maybe they struggle socially, that they can talk through a computer, but they can't talk face-to-face. So
you need to know what
you
they're
need to,
really
you need
like
to actually
know.
confront them and face-to-face.
So how would you say the social media has helped or hindered the transition to university in regards to your friends from home?
I think it's gone well because having Facebook's meant that I can keep in touch with them sort of through chat or sort of just seeing what they're doing by looking through Facebook. It's gone well. Still keep in touch with my best mates.
Yeah, so you do use Facebook as a platform to keep in touch with them?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it wasn't for social media, do you think you would miss your friends from home a lot more?
Yeah, because not seeing them every day is sort of different to like sixth form.
Yeah.
Sort of you're away from them, so Facebook sort of helps.
It helps it, yeah. So if it wasn't for social media, would you be as close to the friends that you've made at university, do you think?
Probably not, because without Facebook I wouldn't have known who was going to be on my course or who I was going to be living with.
Okay.
Because of the groups that were created, so like Liberty Point and my course group.
So they create groups on Facebook, and by being part of that,
you get to know people a lot better.
If you hadn't used that,
it would have
platform,
been a bit more worrying, a bit more nerving, because you were sort of gone in sort of fish out of water.
and you're closer to those people because of that.
Just know them sort of a bit already.
Okay. So if you consider the answers that you've given me during this interview, would you say that social media platforms maintain friendships, or do you think they actually ruin them?
I think they maintain friendships, or sort of in my cases, sort of meeting the people I've met abroad and sort of my best mates back home from uni.
Yeah.
Sort of managed to stay in touch with them and
Okay.
keep good mates.
Good. Thank you for your time.
That's alright. Thank you for yours.
My name is Dion Lee. I'm currently a Coventry University student studying Media and Communications. In this video I'm going to tell you why I've chosen media and what it's like being a media student. One of the reasons why I chose media is because I studied at A-level and realised that I really enjoyed it. I got a good grade, so I thought, why not go for it? It does give me insight on many different types of media, different forms, different things that you can do with media, which field you want to go into, so editing, producing, camera work, presenting. In my group we decided to each take a task on researching what it's like to be a media student. For my task I chose to look at promotional flyers, universities, and see how they promote themselves. So I looked online and I found university web pages talking about media studies, media and communications. I was looking at how they promoted the course, and that was mainly by telling that there's a wide variety of choices to choose in media studies. There's loads of different fields to go into. The university web pages uses many pre-modifications, so for example they need core skills, or they have academic study, making it sound more academic, making it seem more interesting, creating emphasis on certain words to make it sound better. Overall, I think that the way they portrayed the course was accurate, again showing that there is variety, and then the quotes from the students do say it's very productive and fun. It tells you a lot about the course on the website, about what they do each year, including placements, work abroad, studying abroad. I think that the
websites, the quotes and the promotional side of the universities on taking media and communications has been described pretty accurately. However, I think that students now that want to take it don't realise how much work that you actually have to do.
Hi, so as part of week 4, we looked at researching the digital, and particularly our task create a group vlog on which we looked at what it is like to be a media student. And for me in particular, I had to look at social forums such as the student room, where people such as students talk about various topics. When I researched what it is like to be a media student, a topic that came up was your idea of a Mickey Mouse degree, and that in particular struck me. Media is usually portrayed as something like that, as in people just think that is something that's easy. But for me personally, as a media student, I don't think that is particularly true, because we learn a lot of theory behind. We don't learn about all the different softwares that the industries are using as well in general, and we've got our lecturers as well that we can use as contacts, which I think is very helpful. And in particular, being a Coventry University media student, they offer so many opportunities. For example, they give us a free MacBook, which is the best thing really for a student, a media student in particular, because it has the softwares already that I would need to do editing, because it's also very quick. I have access to a lot of articles, and they provide free books as well, so I don't have to have the hassle of going back to the social forums, the student room, the Mickey Mouse degree. People were generally saying that media studies, that it's a simple degree and it doesn't really matter that much. It's a waste of money, government money, and tuition fee loans. Media, if you want a career in media, it's mainly based on who you know, the experience, but you forget that you also need to know a bit of theory behind.
Hello, my name's Amy. Hi. I've never actually done a vlog before, it's my first one, and it's going to be about being a media student. So I set myself 3 key questions that I really wanted to answer. The first of which was, what were my expectations for being a media student, and how is that different from reality? Another question I wanted to answer was, how is this media course different to other courses that are maybe a bit more academics based? Thirdly, the question I wanted to answer was, how do I actually feel about the course? So in order to answer my question I had about expectations, it was best to look at the letter that I wrote myself at the beginning of the year. It was a requirement for one of my other modules, and it sort of looked at my strengths and weaknesses, and I figured out that one of my main weaknesses was lacking confidence really to sort of share my ideas, and I definitely struggled with that still at the start of the year, but after a couple of months have gone by, I think I've definitely sort of improved on that, and I'm able to share my ideas and be confident that they're going to be heard. And one of the main differences as well between what I expected and what it actually is the theory to practical ratio. I definitely thought it was going to be sort of a lot more just writing essays and stuff, but yeah, they sort of set you a project to do, and then you need to draw the theory yourself from that, which is a lot more difficult, and I'm trying to sort of get to grips with that a little bit. And that brings me on to how our course is different from other courses. The practical means it has to be a lot more group-based, whereas other courses will sort of be writing individual essays. We won't have these group projects to do. Another thing that makes it a lot more different from other courses is how much attention we do need to pay to social media. Some other students from other courses think it is something that's quite irrelevant and it's not really necessary to look at, but I like how our course accepts that it is fundamental to learn about in order to be able to learn about our field, to understand it well. And the last thing that differs about this course is really how creative it encourages you to be, and that's one of the things I like, how creative it allows me to be, because I do have quite an artistic side and it's really fun to be encouraged to use that in all these group projects that we're doing. But one of the things I do not dislike, but I find quite difficult about the course, is the amount of group work, just obviously because it means you have to manage your time a lot more, which is something I do struggle with. I'm improving on it and I'm getting better, but as I say, that is one of the things that's sort of my least favourite. Overall, no, I do really enjoy being a media student. Obviously the free MacBook was a bonus, In all seriousness, it's really testing and challenging, and I'm really enjoying how self-driven it is because it's really given me the motivation to really want to try and improve myself. I hope you've enjoyed this little vlog. I know it's only been quite short, but I hope it's been helpful to anyone who's looking to become a media student, or maybe other media students that just wanted to get the insight from other people.
During our reflection plan, we decided to put the 3 different photo research methods on the whiteboard and then list the pros and cons to then decide which one we'll use when conducting our task. We needed one which was suitable to use with already found images. When listing the advantages and disadvantages, it became pretty obvious which method we'd eventually use, because each method requires a different approach and research. In short, we understood that photo documentation, like ethnographic research, required us to physically participate and take the pictures while experiencing the research itself. And photo elicitation was a bad idea, because it meant we had to not only take the pictures ourselves, but also conduct an interview. That leaves us with photo essays, which was the most suitable and efficient of all the methods. All we had to do was align 5 pictures as planned, constructing a narrative of the subject we already chose, which was the street magician, Dynamo. We struggled during the task because we didn't fully understand and see these methods as research methods, and how photos could be a type of research. Our work is supported by this week's reading task, following the instructions of using long extended captions and voice-over commentary for each of the chosen images. The first caption for the first chosen image is an early photo of a magician device. The second image was creating a diversion for the public. The third one, an example of audience participation. The fourth, international success. And the last and final image, celebrity status. At the beginning we were scared, but then we also didn't feel it was comfortable, and we thought it would be like rude.
Yeah, it's not really appropriate to do it. Yeah. Plus when we spoke to Jongmi, we didn't really get the impression that she wanted us to interrupt her lecture at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So it made me feel like I didn't really want to do that.
Although we said we'll do it at the end, but she didn't announce it, and we just kind of rushed off. So it's like I think even if we stopped everyone, people wouldn't be like want to do it.
No, they just want to sort of leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then when we did it in the seminar, no reaction at all.
Maybe it was too few people for it to work, really.
Yeah, those are like more or less people than usual, but at the same time, people looked, but then they didn't comment.
Maybe it was because like they had their tasks to do, like they weren't paying attention to one point in class. Like they were all looking in the same direction, maybe it would have got their attention, but they were all like working on their own tables and
different
stuff.
angles and everything. Yeah.
So they wouldn't notice.
Already sort of distracted amongst themselves, so they weren't paying attention to what's going on around them.
But even if they did, like maybe they're too like not really bothered to start commenting about it, like because taking a selfie is now considered quite a norm to people.
Yeah, people do just sort of, when they take a Snapchat or whatever, they'll just stand at the front and take a Snapchat and nobody really says anything because people do that anyway.
Besides the like seminar leader,
Yeah.
that's but otherwise no one else would like comment or say anything else.
Yeah. Or even if they were going to comment, maybe they were just waiting for somebody else to say it first because they felt a bit awkward and they didn't want to be the first person to go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Or maybe just consider doing the things we came up with at the beginning. Like we had good ideas, but we were just not.
Yeah, some of our ideas were good. I mean, I think what was the idea about sort of going somewhere in the library and just lying down, taking a nap, or going to the gym and doing things you wouldn't normally do in the gym. So I think the reason we found this so difficult this week was just because it's scary, disrupting space because you're not meant to do it and you don't want to get in trouble for anything. You want to ask permission to be able to do it, but then it's not spontaneous and it's not so much of a disruption if it is organised.
Yeah.
I think that was why we found it so difficult.
We also learned that it needed a lot of planning. Like we didn't expect it to not work.
You know, all of our things that we were going to do, we did sort of do it at the last minute. Like the flash mob, like we organised that. We tried to do the day before. The self thing we came up with on the day. And then you sort of have an idea and follow through with it rather than changing it around maybe next time.
Yeah, but usually the first ideas are the best ones anyways.
Yeah. And then we think them through too much and then we get scared and we think it might not work and we worry.
Exactly.
I associate rain with sleep because back in Zimbabwe, it's a thing where it's like really soothing and you can hear the like raindrops hitting the ground and like the smell as well. It's just like natural because it's like when you put like mud, it's like muddy and it's like really, it smells really natural and kind of cleanses off like the polluted air sort of thing and that's all you can smell.
It makes me feel amazing because unlike how other people think that rain might represent depression or sadness or a gloomy environment, rain is basically like a celebration back home. In my country, rain is like considered a gift from God because that's what our religion says.
If I was inside my house, I really liked it because I could